And welcome to your Monday morning, Sonder Social. So glad that you're all here with us. Glad that you're here even just for a short time, or glad that you're here for the whole time. So welcome to Monday. I am Jennifer Krippner. I'm dialing in from northern Minnesota. And if you hear, I'm going to be my authentic self this morning because I woke up with a very sore throat, a little bit of a runny nose and a watery eye. So this is what you get this morning, but I am here. I wore my bright pink sweater because it made me feel good. And so if you hear me when I'm off camera and the music's playing, I might have to blow my nose or cough. So that is just going to be my authentic self. I'm going to really lean into the theme this month for April. And I am also here with Jennifer Ogilvy from Texas. If you want to pop on, she is going to be in the chat supporting all of you. So if I go quiet for a minute, she's got you. I'll be back with all of you. So it's such a great way to start a Monday morning, right? I'm so glad to be here. Love, thank you everybody for your kind thoughts in the chat. Love that you're all here with us today and ready to get this second week of April set up. I think it's week 15 of the year, which is hard to believe. I feel like we just started. Hope everybody has their beautiful April journal with you. If not, maybe you have just a notebook and you're going to take notes today. Otherwise, maybe you're just here with us. And maybe you're just wanting to hang out and have some company and connect with everybody in the chat. And that is just great as well. Also, if you want to chat with us, make sure that your chat is set to everyone. If it's set to host and panelists, just Jennifer and I can hear or read that, which is fine. If you want to just chat with the two of us, we're great with that as well. Up to you. This is your hour. Spend it how you like. There's no right or wrong answers, no right or way to journal. We're just glad that you're here with us. And our guidelines, which are also posted on the Silk and Sonder website. Just a reminder that we are here to journal and to do our monthly or do our weekly setup. We're here to elevate each other and elevate our own emotional health. So we just want to be kind and respectful of one another. So again, authenticity and being authentic. And I think last week we talked about what does that mean when we think about ourselves and our self understanding of who we are as ourselves. And this week's mind map, we're going to take it to the next level. And we will talk about that in a little bit. So first of all, here's our agenda that we're going to go through. And our mind map, we will kick off week 2 with that in just a few minutes. We'll reflect on last week with our rosebud and thorn, and then we'll dive into setting up our weekly pages on 32 and 33. All right, so first off, let's get into week 2 of our mind map for April. This is where we really explore the concept of authenticity in our lives. So let's do a little review again of last week. Last week was all about personal, right? Our own selves. How do we know when we're truly being ourselves? Reflecting on a recent situation where we felt inauthentic, perhaps where we were not putting our full selves forward. What contributed to that feeling and what could you do differently next time? So before we move on to really looking outward, last week we looked inward. This week, it's all about connections. So we'd like you to recall a time when you felt deeply connected with someone. What aspects of that interaction felt authentic to you? And how can you show up more authentically in your relationships? Perhaps you'd like to consider any barriers or fears that you might need to overcome. So a lot of people like to create their mind map, and perhaps if you've been with us before, you already started your mind map with week 1. If this is your first time with us and you haven't started your mind map, some people like to use a blank page in your journal, maybe the weekly scratch pad. Perhaps you just like to use a sticky note or the quote page on page 38. And so here's the question, and I'll come back to that, but I'll show you an example. This is Bailey's on the right. So she takes a note page and divides it into 4 since there's 4 weekly mind map questions. I, on the left-hand side, like to use the scratch pad. So this is the scratch pad for this week. And then each week I will just continue that for the 4 weeks in April. And so I feel really deeply connected to somebody when they share something meaningful and personal. That vulnerability on both sides really helps me feeling close to my girlfriends. I've had a few recently that I feel like I've been able to open up first, and then that allows them to open up. I think for me, my barrier and something that I'd like to overcome is time and making that time and making that connection. And something that's really helped me lately is using my Silk and Sonder journal to commit to those intentions and um, scheduling it in either my weekly habit and activity tracker or in my goals of connection. And so that is something that has helped me overcome that barrier. So I'd like to play a song now. And I'd like you to think about, for you, when you recalled a time that you felt deeply connected with someone, what aspects of that interaction felt authentic to you? So was it you sharing vulnerability first, or was it that other person opening up? Or what about it helped you show up authentically in a relationship? So like I said, I'm going to share a song, and when I come back, I'd love to see in the chat how you were able to come up with your answers and how this connects to you. All right, I'll see you back here in a little bit. All right, thank you. Couple of you for sharing. I think a lot of people maybe are working on this prompt. Carla, I agree with your comment, working remotely definitely has changed our ability to connect. And also living in the country will do that to you. We moved up north in northern Minnesota. And so I also work remotely when I'm not traveling. I truly have had to make an attention to connect with people and be the connector and not wait for people to reach out to me. So I will make coffee dates virtually to just have a 15, 20-minute conversation with people that I used to be able to go out with when I lived in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area. And it has to be scheduled, it has to be planned for, it has to be something that you reach out and schedule in your day to have those connections. And sometimes they don't respond to you, or it takes a while to respond to you, and that is a fear and can be a barrier to continue to do that. So yes, Jen, it is an intentional connection. It's something that you have to schedule. You have to I make a list of people. You'll see in my I am loving section at the end of our social today, I have a list of people that I connect with, and I have a rotation of people that I just it may be 15 minutes, but it is a way to be connected. And in our world of loneliness and in our world of isolation, being connected, even if it's just with a couple people, it's truly important for our health. And so, um, yes, it is. April says you definitely don't have an issue showing up authentically with your close friends and family. It's hard to it's hard to show up with anyone that you can't be authentically yourself. So true. Desiree, your sister, yes, she gets past the bouncer of your barriers, no questions asked. Those sisters are amazing, and family members that you can trust. So thank you for sharing your comments and for leaning into that question. We are going to move to our next section, and we like to reflect on the past week before we move ahead and setting up our next week. So I'd invite you to turn to page 30, and this is our rosebud and thorn. And a rose is what went well or something that you're grateful for this past week. A bud from last week is what's an emerging opportunity or something that's about to be a rose. And then a thorn is something maybe that didn't go well. What was challenging that you could use more support right now, or something that just didn't, like I said, go well. So I'll share mine before I let you work on yours. I'll start with my thorn. We were supposed to watch our grandson. He's 19 months old, and he didn't feel well, so we didn't get to help out. He ended up staying home with his parents. This Thursday, I have a day road trip to Duluth, Minnesota for work. I'm excited about taking a 2-hour drive one way and a 2-hour drive back home and in the sunshine all by myself. So I'm excited about that. And then last week on Wednesday, we got about 10 inches of snow. I made a lovely snow angel, and it was just one of the most beautiful snowfalls, where it just is heavy on the trees, and it didn't last very long. So one day, lovely snow days. All the schools were canceled. I don't have kids in school, but it was just a beautiful, lovely snow day. So that was my rose. And with that, I'm going to play a song and allow you to play. I'm gonna play a song and let you work on your rosebud and thorn. And Christina, Lake Superior is one of your favorite places. Yes, it's gonna be beautiful to see it, and it's gonna be great. So I will see you back here shortly. Thank you for sharing in the chat. I am loving some of these roses, and thorns are not. People are going through some tough times, so I appreciate you sharing and being authentic with us about what you're going through. Michelle, it looks like you're working on a new sewing project. I know Jennifer Ogilvy would love to hear that. She's a big sewer as well. Sherry, your roses, you're being less impulsive. That is good. Desiree, um, you're sitting with the admission that your relationship with your son is damaged. I'm sorry that you're going through that, but it sounds like, one of the first things is understanding where you're starting from. Hopefully you can begin to heal through that. Sherry, your bud is you're reestablishing yourself back to the church again. Sandra, you visited to the aquarium. That sounds like that was lovely. Trixie, you have so many roses this week. I love that. That is good to acknowledge that. And let's see, maybe one more. Get to the bottom here. And Vicky, you're recovering from an ice storm, so maybe that is a thorn. It sounds like there was a lot of really tough weather this past weekend and week. So sorry to hear about all of that. Callie, you're recovering from surgery and staying healthy away from infection. So yes, please take care. And let's all think really positive thoughts for one another and think about that everybody has a good, healthy week ahead, a safe week ahead, and that next week when we're together, that our rosebud and thorns will reflect a wonderful week that we've had with some intentional connections and a good week ahead. So let's move to our weekly planner. And we're going to dive into page 32 and 33. So let's make the turn of the page. And this is where we're going to focus on the left-hand side first. And we are going to choose the way we want to feel. We're going to prioritize our tasks or our goals. We're going to track our to-dos and keep track of our weekly habits. And then we will look at our meal plan for the week or how to repurpose it, schedule our self-care, keep track of our shopping lists, and then focus on what we are loving. All right. Okay, so let's share in the chat how we want to feel this week. What are the feels that we want to show up? I know for me, excuse me, I am not feeling great this morning, so I want to feel healthy. I want this sore throat to go away. And so mine is going to be healthy. And so if you just want to share in the chat, how do you want to feel? It can be one word, it can be sentences, it can be an affirmation or a mantra, it can be a Bible verse, it can be anything that you want to put in there. It could be just one word, maybe it's your word of the year. So I am seeing all things productive, positive, simplicity, and inspired. Thank you, Joanna. Progress, ready for what's coming. We'll be thinking of you, Sonia. Connected, thrive. Ooh, I like that one, Sherry. Thank you for that. I think along with healthy, I want to thrive this week. Trixie, again, we love the buoyant, articulate, energized, strong, safe with power and food, loved by my partner, family, friends, and at peace. Thank you, Vicki. Mindful, at peace with my progress. Love, you want to feel the love. 5% happier, thanks, Beth. Productive. These are all so encouraging. So as we think about how do we want to feel, what can we do on the rest of these pages today to set us up for success? How can we ensure that all of these amazing things that we want to feel be supported? So let's look at our goals and then our to-dos, our habits and activities. How can we support all of these amazing things that we want to feel? So this person on the left wants to feel grounded. So some of their goals, eat healthy foods, movement, storyline, and big ideas. They haven't quite filled in their to-dos yet, but they're going to write down, and you can see they have each day of the week outlined in their design. They're going to write down the things that they accomplished. On the right-hand side, their goals are around mind, body, and soul. So they want to engage, experience, and enrich, and then their to-dos support each of those areas. The bottom, create moments of joy, self-care check-in, express my creativity, and then they have their to-dos correlate with their goals. And then same with these 3 examples. They're really connected in a really nice way, instead of having separate sections. I don't know about how many of you do this, but I know that I typically don't connect these 2. They're usually separate for me, but I really like how they combine and support one another. And then the to-dos, some great examples of things that you need, want, and wish, or need, want, and hope to do. You can do it in 3 buckets or 2 buckets. And then here, if you have a lot of things on your to-do list, you can use the Eisenhower matrix. And this really helps support you dividing it into what's important and urgent and what's not important or not urgent, and maybe even delegate or delete. And then how do we want to show up? Maybe your to-do list becomes a to-be list. And this could really be something supporting you in how you want to feel this week. And then some other examples of maybe things that you want to do now versus later in the week, things for work or at home, your to-do or your to-do list, things that you can check off and make it as an accomplishment, morning and night, or self, others, and home. And here on the left-hand side, this could be your connection, intention connection. So here's where perhaps you put that list of people that you want to connect with, the days of the week, and then maybe it's just a text, or maybe it's a call or a face-to-face. And so that's where you could actually set that intention for the week. And maybe you just do it 1 week a month. And then the other examples are just fun little sticker examples on the right, or a repurpose example. So I am going to rest my voice for a minute and let you work on these 2 sections and play a song for you, and I'll be back here shortly. All right, thanks for setting up your goals and your to-dos. I love the fact that sometimes weeks are different than previous weeks, and if we're traveling or doing different things that, it might not be a full fill out for the week, or it might just look a little bit different. So appreciate all of that. Let's look at the bottom of our page. Looks like this is in the wrong spot, so I'll come back to that. I wanted to share my habit and activity for this week. It's a little bit different. For my April intentions, I decided to do the dose method. And the dose method is really looking at your dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, and how you can really lean into those and up your happiness. And so my dopamine is really boosting my motivation by looking at achieving small, meaningful goals. Oxytocin is connecting with other people through time. The serotonin, is getting outside and finding the sun. I think somebody on a Monday morning social talked about finding the sun, even if it's just 5 minutes walking through your house, or it's a little cold out here to go outside, but finding the sun and just sitting there for 5 minutes and just soaking it in. And then the endorphins is really incorporating joyful movement or laughter into your routine, whether it's exercise or music. And so in order to do that, I am putting that in my habit and activity. And you can see through last week, I was able to complete that every single day. And so I only filled out 4 lines. I didn't fill out every line. So I just did the dose. And I believe it really did help me. So it's just an option for you to think about, using your intentions and making sure that you are incorporating those into your weekly habits or your weekly activities. Here's a couple other options for you to look at or think about. This person on the top, flossing is part of their habit they'd like to ensure, hanging up their clothes, which is a really good one. Reading and then taking their vitamins and minerals. The one on the bottom is all about self-care. So they're like their coaching journal prompts, coaching tip exercise, chatting with their coach, doing breath work, and saying their mantra out loud. And the bottom one is playing outside, having holiday fun. Maybe it's Easter fun for you if you do that. Listening to music, making a craft, and decluttering so you can decorate. Couple more examples. One on the top looks like they're going to be out of town, so they just X'd it out. I love the top example, the bottom line, it says journal items filled in. So just an example that a reminder that you're going to be filling all your journal items in. And the bottom example, that you're listening to the daily ritual, that you're doing your mood tracker, your habit tracker, your sleep tracker, and that you're drinking water. So let's take a few minutes and set this section up before we move to the next page. All right, so I will be back here in a few minutes. Right, I am loving these examples in the chat. Christina, walking, reading, resting, meditation, complete the monthly habit tracker. Holly, need more movement routines, meal planning and fun. Olivia, Reiki, gym, create, finance, and photos. They all track back to your monthly intentions. I love that too. That's awesome. Vicki, tiny, tidy each day, reading positive blogs and articles, tea, and a mini meditation. Beth Ann, meditate 10 minutes, walking 15 minutes, journal 15 minutes, declutter 15 minutes. I love your time frames there. Desiree's going to try the dose method. I love it. Thank you for sharing those examples. The tiny tidy is a great idea. I think Jennifer, you do a 10-minute tidy. That's good. The Zoom user, I'm not sure what your name is, but you're going to try the dose method too. Thank you for all trying that. I can't wait. Oh, Kate, thank you for saying your name. We appreciate that. You're going to try the dose method too. So I'm anxious to hear how that will all turn out for you next week. All right, let's flip the page. Let's go over to our meal plan, mind, body, health, shopping list, and I am loving. And let's see how we're going to set that page up this week. So many examples and so many people do so many great things with this section. So curious how many people use this as your actual meal plan. Like, do you plan your meals for the week or do you track your food intake for the week? So I like to track what I eat because I get migraines. And I used to like track my my symptoms for my migraines. You can see here in the middle. On my mood tracker was my symptom tracker, so I could correlate if I ate something, did it trigger a migraine. This example on the left-hand side of daily adventures and their quests completed for the water droplets. I love that. That perhaps is how you want to get some fun into your life. You can see all the other ways to repurpose the meal section on the right-hand side. I'm going to walk you through some of those examples so you can see them. Here on the left side, daily doodles. This was posted last night. I love this. Hello, April, with the umbrella and the bees and the flowers. That's great. You're the apple of my eye. So really nice self-affirmations. How many of you use this to do the daily affirmations, perhaps from the app, and write that in there? I think that's a beautiful way to do that. Carla, you love the daily doodles. I think it's great and super fun. Left-hand side, self-care. I think Jennifer Ogilvie helped us understand using the water droplets for the 8 a.m. to the 4 p.m. time frame, and just a minute to take a few deep breaths in and out each hour at the top of the hour and checking those off. How I filled my cup today could be some journaling, or how did I find my happy this week could be some journaling prompts. Perhaps this is your week with cleaning. So maybe each day you're going to clean the bathroom on Monday and the living room and dining room on Tuesday and so on. Or maybe you will also track your protein and produce this week. And so that's what you want to do here in the middle. Or maybe you just have a busy appointment week and you need to do a weekly overview of all of your plans for the week. Maybe you need to prioritize yourself, and so that's what you're doing on the left-hand side, or perhaps you're traveling for the week and you need to have a clothing plan and be very specific about what you're going to wear and pack. How about a victory inventory? All the great things that are happening and all the wins that you've had each day. Or here on the right, the 7 types of rest. And yes, I will go over all of these in just a few minutes when I play a song for you. Here in the app on the left-hand side, that is where you get your affirmations. So if you want to use that, you can do that. And then 3 wins for the day through mind, body, and soul, or how you filled your cup with the water droplets. And then maybe you have a morning routine that you'd like to address. And that's the water droplets are coupled with your morning routine in your mind, body, health plan. And then some mind body health plan. Here's some examples, some really great examples of on the top left, I feel perhaps you feel tired, then you need rest and to pray. Maybe you have a night routine that you need to have. Mind, body, and health, there's 3 categories there. And then on the right-hand side, just different activities for the day of the week. Bottom left, this is a new example from this weekend. M, meditate even for 5 minutes. T, this too shall pass. W, water over alcohol. T, Thursday, try and focus on productivity. F for Friday, fast or eat proud. S for Saturday, stay steady on your step tracker. And S for Sunday, say your 5 gratitudes before bed. So I love that. Daily enjoyment. Again, the 7 types of rest here. Shopping list, some great examples here. Perhaps you like to do the Wordle. Maybe you need a calm scale. We love, love, love our bingos. On the right-hand side in the shopping list, what I'm watching, reading, and listening. I love that as well. Here is what I'm loving, and these are all I'm loving connections, and these are all my people that I have intentions to connect with. And so that is what I am loving there. Here's some more examples. That was a lot. I'm going to go through every slide again and give you time to work on this. And so I will play a couple songs this time, and we will come back and see how it's going for you. I'll be back in a little bit. All right, thanks for working on that full page together. We love it. Love the comments. So Desiree, you use the shopping list area for a checklist of people to email or message. That's a great one. Let's see, Jennifer Ogilvy, you've been using your meal plan for your spring cleaning and decluttering list. That's awesome. Sonia likes the little bee sticker. Says being me. That's cute. We love stickers. And let's see what else we have in here. Desiree, you're gonna create an idea to connect the word origins for each day. For example, Monday is Moon Day, so you could spend time moon gazing. I love that. Friday is Frigg Day, Norse goddess of love and the earth, etc. So that is cool. We'll look forward to seeing examples. Christina, you've been using the meal plan for connections. So you make a note of who you connected with each day authentically, really leaning into not only the mind map, but also the theme for the month of April of authenticity. Holly, shopping list this week will be a list of topics you'd like to study more. Olivia, you save a quote that you come across for during the week. I love it. Great, great examples. And Holly, you love the thought of being surrounded by angels. That is awesome. Thank you for sharing what you are loving this week. Before we close, I'd like to just share this example somebody posted over the weekend, their weekly spread. So if you want to turn to the next page, I love how they're using the one thing. As an example here, they're using it for mindfulness, meditation, journaling. Examples at the bottom, they're using either acceptance or accept different things that they're doing and writing. They have tasks, they have a worry, brain dump, today's focus, and appointments in the weather section. So I just think this is a great way to set up. And I think given time, I'll play a quick little song. If you all want to set up your week, I will be back here in just a minute. We are so grateful for having you all here with us today. I love our Monday mornings. They do go super fast, and it's just amazing that you can spend this time with us. Getting your week off to a great start. I greatly appreciate your grace today as my throat is a little bit on fire. Glad I don't have to talk for the next couple hours. I'm going to finish my lovely cup of tea. I hope you all really have a safe week ahead. Hopefully, the weather settles down a little bit. And remember, we have our special on the personalized coaching. If you haven't tried it yet, feel free to try that. Jennifer will put the link in the chat. Otherwise, you can rewatch this. In a couple days, it'll be up on our private YouTube page, so make sure that you bookmark this YouTube page. And again, we just love having you, love being around you. Jen and I will be back here next Monday. Every Monday for the month of April, you get Team Jennifer. And again, so grateful for all of you. Have a wonderful week. We'll be thinking of all of you that are going through some health challenges. Know that we're here with you. Reach out to us in Sonder Club if you need anything. Post pictures of your pages. We love seeing the pictures of your pages in Sonder Club. And again, have a great week ahead. Take care, everyone.
Can't believe we've come this far, and it feels just like getting started. Somehow we're still running like those kids back then. Scrape some knees and falling down, but somehow we keep getting back up. Long as there is wonder, gonna keep running, yeah, we'll keep running. In this moment, it's electric. Can you see it? Can you feel it? This dream inside is still alive today. Yeah, we're on our way. We're on our way. We're on our way to breaking through. 'Cause we were made for something new. We're on our way. We're on our way. We're on our way to chase our dreams. 'Cause we were made for greater things. Yeah, we're on our way. Here's to all the scared and frozen, too afraid of the unknown and second guessing everything you once believed. There's no fear that can bind you. There's nowhere hope won't find you. As long as we have hope, we have everything we need. Yeah, we're on our way. We're on our way. We're on our way to breaking through. 'Cause we were made for something new. Yeah, we're on our way. We're on our way. We're on our way to chase our dreams. 'Cause we were made for greater things. Yeah, we're on our way. In this moment, it's electric. It's electric. Can you see it? Can you feel it? This dream inside is still alive. We're on our way. We're